You should keep your relationship off social media. Okay, interesting.
That's how I feel. I don't like being upset.
I just can't go to sleep peacefully knowing that, I have an issue with my wife too. Happy wife, happy life.
I absolutely disagree with this one.
How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Dre here, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Asha.
Hi, welcome to the channel.
Hello, hello, hello. So today we're going to be rating relationship advice from the internet. There's a lot of debate over certain topics, and me and my wife have been in a relationship for a while now, so we have plenty of experience to speak upon. We're just going to go over 5 different pieces of advice for this video, and you guys let us know, if you agree, if you disagree. We'll also be giving it a rating from 1 to 5, I believe we said.
So it's going to be from 1 to 5. 1 is absolute disagree, and then 5 absolutely agree. Feel free to also rate on the comments, and let's keep the conversation going.
You ready, baby?
I'm ready.
Number 1, never go to bed angry. Always resolve conflict before sleeping. Why this is a debate is because some say this is wise. Others say if you're forcing resolution when you're exhausted, it can just make things worse. And sometimes sleep is the only solution. So
first of all, I'm going to rate it a 5. I do believe that you should never go to bed upset with your husband or wife. It's so important that you fix everything before you go to bed. It's a little problem that is causing you to not to talk, because you don't want to add on to more things. You really want to make sure you solve the issue. That's how I feel. I don't like being upset with my husband. I really want to make sure that everything I do align with what we want for each other in the future and in the present. I would agree that you should definitely resolve before you go to sleep.
I would definitely agree with you as well. I would definitely have to say a 5. It's very important that you make sure you and your partner are on good terms, because we are a Christian couple, and in our faith, it teaches us to forgive. So it wouldn't be right of me to just hold on to any type of anger. It's just not right. Number 2, just me as a person, my conscience, I just can't go to sleep peacefully knowing that I have an issue with my wife. And so, yeah, thankfully we don't really go through that, But yeah, if there is something small, I literally ask you, babe, you good? And you'll just be like, yep. And then we always pray before we go to bed. So any tension that we may have had from something, it just kind of melts away when you pray about it.
I agree.
You guys let us know what you think in the comments about that one. Give us your rating. Number 2, happy wife, happy life. And yes, I've definitely heard this even more when I got married. But yeah, it sounds harmless. It sounds fun. But some people don't necessarily agree with this, because it kind of implies that the husband's happiness isn't important. So what do you think, babe?
I absolutely disagree with this one when it comes to happy wife, happy life.
So what number? What rating?
So I'll rate it a 1. If I could rate it a 0, I would. It doesn't sound right to me, like happy wife, happy life. Where is the husband? Because this is a partnership. So my question would be like, is it happy husband and wife, happy life? I would have agreed with that one better, because in this sense, I am kind of wondering, where does the husband falls into this? Or are we just focusing on the woman in this specific topic? That would be my question. Tell me what you think on the comments. What would you rate it? Because I feel like I want to know where the husband stands in this sentence or topic or this advice.
This is tough for me, because honestly, for me, I've always looked at it as just like a fun statement. I'm gonna say it too. I'm gonna just say it too. I've heard the term a lot. I think it's funny. Yes, I think every husband should strive to make their wife happy. I mean, I think it's sort of implied that our wife should try to make their husband happy. I don't take it that deep. I feel like sometimes people look too deep into things. As a man, it is my job to serve my wife and vice versa, and lead her in different ways. This one is a tough one for me. I think it is important for the wife to always check in with their husband and make sure that they're good and they're happy. But I don't think you need to change the phrasing or invent one for the men. So that's my take on it.
Yes, I think it's also depending how people feel about it. Some people really take this so serious, or literally. Also, when it comes to this, I feel like it's depend on the person as well. Because some people say it as a joke, and some people say it because they're miserable. They're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
I think that's one of the reasons why our relationship has worked well, is because we don't take ourselves so seriously with everything, especially when it comes to advice on the internet and things like that. When you look so deep into it, you're going to eventually find a problem. Start looking for solutions for positive things. Don't always look for a problem, would be my advice. So number 3, never stop dating each other. Keep the spark alive at all costs. The debate around this is that it sounds great, but some people say this puts unnecessary pressure on couples in hard seasons. Sometimes life is just hard and love looks like showing up, not date nights.
You know what? I understand the debate on this one. I would give it a good 3.9, so almost a 4. Reason is that sometimes life happens. I do feel like people should always date, people should always be lovey-dovey, but life happens, right? And those are the times where you might have to slow down on dating, but you should never ever slow down on making your significant other, your husband or your wife feel special. So I'll give it a 3.4 only for that reason that life is tough. There are times where, I had kids and I just didn't have time for anything, even myself. Those are tough times where you don't even know what to do. It's like a life-changing experience. You are introduced to a different type of life, so you don't know how to act, so you have to work yourself back to that. So that's where other things comes, that is love, trust, patience, and those are just other stuff that you can use in situation like this. So I agree, and I also disagree a little bit, not too much, just a tiny bit.
So what was your final number again?
A 3.9.
Okay, I didn't know we could bring decimals into the mix, but okay.
3.9.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm just gonna give it a 4. We use the term dating. Like for me, dating can be different things. Some people picture dating as going out to some fancy restaurant or going out to a movie. Dating looks different for everyone. For some people, dating is just taking the time out at home, watching a movie together. You have to define what is meaningful to you. And I do think as you should always put in the effort and energy to keep things fresh, to keep that spark with your partner. To me, that's part of the effort. If there is no effort, then there won't be no spark. And in a sense, I agree with it. I do think you should never stop dating each other, in the sense of never just kind of going through the same routine every day, not trying nothing new, not trying to spark new conversations, not trying to make changes. To me, that's a sign of like you've given up, or you don't care, or you're just being lazy, in your relationships. That's my take on it.
That's good.
Yeah. And honestly, too, I feel like even if you are going through a hard time, sometimes when you go through that together with your partner, it actually brings you guys closer in a new way. So just being present, being there for that person, there's a sense of intimacy there, which I think is worth.
Because things can be different.
It's different for everyone, but I know for us, when we go through anything, it actually brings us closer. That's kind of our take on that. We got 2 more to get through for this video, guys. By the way, if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, we do a bunch of different types of videos. This is just one type of video. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4 is love is a feeling. If you don't feel it anymore, it's over. Debate is that biblical love is a choice and a commitment, not just an emotion. This is a big one.
I absolutely disagree. I'll give it a 1, only because love is like a feeling, right? Like something that you feel, emotional. Love comes in many ways. If you read the Bible, love is patient, love is kind. That's when you use the kindness, the patience. And so the feeling going, you might not feel a certain way about your husband or wife, but you must learn to love them again. You must learn to appreciate them again, be patient with them again. Because if we relied on our feelings and emotions, we wouldn't wake up in the morning to feed our kids, go to work, dress ourselves. So you can rely on your feelings to grow your marriage. What I can advise you is to rely on God. I'll definitely give it a 1. If I could, I'll give it a 0 because feelings does not keep your marriage. It's commitment and agreeing that you want to stay together and to work together. That's what keeps your marriage, not how you feel. I feel like that's the issue with this generation. A lot of people, they don't want to grow up and do the hard things, and that's something that we should start doing.
For sure. You kind of said everything that I would say. It's a 1 for me in terms of rating too. The way I don't really even like the way it's worded. The fact that you're saying is over, you kind of just shut yourself out from love. Is something that you fight for. So if you're just already tapping out, you probably didn't really love that person in the first place. We believe it's an action verb. It's something that you commit to, you show up every day. Now, of course, if someone is unfaithful or, that's a different story. That's somebody betraying your love. But I think love is always worth fighting for. It's not just a feeling. It's much more than that. It manifests itself in everything that you do. So that's my take on it. Last but not least, this is an interesting one because this is something we're actually doing right now as we speak. So number 5 is keep your relationship off social media to protect it. Where's the line? Is it a good idea for people to put their relationship on social media?
I agree. I give it a 5. You posting a picture of your family, your kids, your husband, I think you should have...
Sorry, not to interrupt you, but just to be clear, you're saying you fully agree that you should keep your relationship off social media. Okay,
yes.
Interesting. As we're doing it, but
yes. I'll give it a 4. This is why I'll give it a 4, right? Let's say you get married, right? You post your wedding pictures, your family. I love seeing mom videos, parents, and it's good to see families thrive and be happy, right? What I would say is don't bring your business. I don't know if it's the same thing. So when we say keep your relationship off social media, we're talking about we don't want to know what's going on in your marriage, right? That's what I take it. I don't want to know that your husband woke up this morning and brushed his teeth and he went to work and that person talked to the person or he pissed you off today. I think we should definitely bring boundaries. We should bring journals, is that how you say? Like writing on your journal.
Yeah, journals.
We should bring shame, being embarrassed to put your business out there. A lot of people just have no shame anymore. Once you put your internet footprint, it's there for everyone's opinions to say whatever they want to say about you, and you can't really be mad at them because you're putting your relationship on the line. You posting a picture of you and your husband or your kids is totally understandable, but at what extent do you stop? So that's why I think I give it a 4, because if you're working, it's different. Because I do see couples with their families, I just don't know anything about them, right? I don't know what they do in life. I don't understand what they do, but I see their videos, I see they're happy, but I don't know their personal life.
And that's what's tough too, is because what you see on social media isn't necessarily the truth.
You're seeing just a tiny bit of their life.
It's their highlight reel. So I'm gonna have to give it a 3, and again, because I do agree with what you said. First off, I'll say, like, me and her especially, we've followed a lot of couple channels when we were first started on YouTube, but maybe like 8 years ago, that we actually looked up to and inspired us. And those couples aren't even together anymore. There was always some type of drama. And a lot of it had to do with because of the fact their business was out there. Yeah, I don't think if you go in with the intention of being on social media, whether it's getting fame or whether it's, I don't know what the intentions are, but if you don't go into it with the right reasons or to have the wrong intentions, then it can and most likely will backfire for you. I do think, like my wife said, you have to draw a line in terms of what you put out there, because you don't want to share so much of your private life. It's just intrusive, and you want to protect what you guys have built together as a couple. You don't need to hear everyone's opinion because they have no idea what your day-to-day is like. That being said, why we do it, I gave it a 3, is because there is value in us putting our content out there as a couple. There are people that are either looking to be in a relationship or they are in a relationship and they're looking for a little direction. And so to make videos like this, to give value, that's what inspires me to keep doing this type of thing. Because if there was nobody doing any sort of relationship content, I don't think we would have as many relationships. Because it's good to, even for me, I look at my grandparents who are 90 years old now. They've been married 60 plus years, but having a model of love and all of that it's just great to see that sometimes. So it inspires other people to see love. Love is, I feel like, contagious and infectious. So that's kind of my take on it. So
I agree with a lot of things that you say there, because it's so important to also learn from other people. So there is a benefit of seeing a couple on here, but you also have to make sure that their beliefs aligns with yours. Don't be quickly influenced or inspired by couple goals here on social media. I don't believe in couple goals online. I believe the couple goals are the people that are still together through Christ, and they continue to grow and just show a commitment that is very strong and unbreakable. That's something that I look up to, something that you can't describe. You have to experience it in order to even understand it.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, baby. This was a fun conversation. Let us know in the comments how you would rate each one of these questions. And if you do like this video, we can definitely do a part 2. So just let us know if you would like to see us do more of these. So that's all I got. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Anything else you want to share with them?
Thank you so much. Go be a blessing to somebody.
All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.